If you've been waking up with stiff, achy joints, if climbing stairs feels harder than it used to, or if your knees, hips, or fingers seem to hurt for no clear reason, you're not alone. And more importantly, you're not imagining it. After 60, joint pain becomes one of the most common complaints among older adults. But here's what most people don't realize. The real cause of your joint pain might not be what you think. It's not just about aging, it's not just about wear and tear. There's a hidden culprit that's been quietly inflaming your joints for years and is likely hiding in your kitchen right now. Hi, I'm here to help you understand what's really going on inside your body, and more importantly, how to fix it naturally, without expensive medications or complicated treatments. In today's video, we're going to uncover the hidden reason your joints ache after 60, and I'll share simple, science-backed strategies you can start using today to reduce pain, improve mobility, and feel like yourself again. So if you're ready to take control of your joint health, stay with me. Let's get started. First, let's talk about what's actually happening inside your joints. Your joints are where two bones meet, like your knees, hips, shoulders, and fingers. In a healthy joint, there's a smooth, cushiony tissue called cartilage that protects the ends of your bones. There's also a slippery fluid called synovial fluid that keeps everything moving smoothly, like oil in a machine. But as we age, a few things start to happen. Number one, the cartilage begins to wear down. This is natural to some degree, but it can speed up depending on how we treat our bodies. Number two, our bodies produce less synovial fluid, which means less cushioning and more friction between the bones. And number three, and this is the big one, chronic inflammation starts to take over. Now, inflammation isn't always bad. It's actually your body's way of protecting itself when you're injured or fighting off an infection. But when inflammation becomes chronic, meaning it's happening all the time, day after day, it starts to attack your own tissues, including the delicate cartilage in your joints. And here's the kicker. Most of this chronic inflammation doesn't come from an injury. It comes from what you're eating. That's right. The foods you eat every single day can either calm inflammation or fuel it like gasoline on a fire. And unfortunately, many of the foods we grew up eating, foods we thought were harmless or even healthy, are quietly damaging our joints from the inside out. So before we talk about solutions, let's identify the enemy. Let's talk about the common foods that are silently inflaming your body and making your joint pain worse. Hidden culprit number one, sugar and refined carbohydrates. Let's start with the sweetest saboteur of all, sugar. Now, I'm not here to tell you that you can never enjoy a piece of cake again, but here's what you need to know. When you eat a lot of sugar, especially refined sugar found in sodas, pastries, white bread, and candy, your blood sugar spikes rapidly. When this happens, your body releases molecules called advanced glycation end products, or AGEs for short. These AGEs are like little troublemakers that bind to proteins in your body and cause inflammation. And guess where a lot of that inflammation shows up? In your joints. Studies have shown that diets high in sugar are directly linked to increased inflammation and a higher risk of conditions like osteoarthritis and rheumatoid arthritis. But it's not just candy and soda. White bread, white rice, crackers, and even some breakfast cereals can have the same effect because they break down into sugar very quickly in your bloodstream. So if you're dealing with joint pain and you're eating a lot of these foods, this could be a major piece of the puzzle. Hidden culprit number two, fried and processed foods. Next up, fried and heavily processed foods. I know, fried chicken, French fries, potato chips, they taste good, but here's the problem. When foods are fried at high temperatures, especially in oils that have been reused over and over, they create harmful compounds called trans fats and oxidized fats. These fats don't just clog your arteries, they also trigger a strong inflammatory response in your body. And again, that inflammation loves to settle into your joints. On top of that, many processed foods like deli meats, hot dogs, frozen dinners, and packaged snacks are loaded with preservatives, artificial ingredients, and something called omega-6 fatty acids.
Now, omega-6s aren't bad in small amounts, but the problem is most modern diets are way too high in omega-6s and way too low in omega-3s, which are the good fats that fight inflammation. This imbalance creates a perfect storm for chronic inflammation. If your pantry is full of packaged, fried, or processed foods, your joints are paying the price. Hidden culprit number 3, dairy products for some people. Now, this one might surprise you. Dairy products like milk, cheese, butter, and ice cream are often considered healthy, especially for bone health. And for some people, they are. But here's the catch. Many older adults have trouble digesting dairy, especially a protein in milk called casein. When your body struggles to break down casein, it can trigger an immune response that leads to, you guessed it, inflammation. This doesn't happen to everyone, but if you've noticed that your joints feel worse after eating cheese, drinking milk, or having ice cream, dairy might be a hidden trigger for you. There's also another issue. Many commercial dairy products contain saturated fats, which can increase inflammation when consumed in large amounts. Again, I'm not saying everyone needs to avoid dairy, but if you're dealing with unexplained joint pain, it's worth experimenting. Try cutting out dairy for 2 weeks and see if you notice a difference. You might be surprised. Hidden culprit number 4, excess salt and sodium. Now here's another sneaky one, too much salt. Now your body needs some sodium to function properly, but most of us are getting way too much, not from the salt shaker on the table, but from processed and packaged foods. Canned soups, frozen meals, deli meats, salty snacks, soy sauce, and even some breads are loaded with hidden sodium. High sodium intake has been linked to increased inflammation, water retention, and swelling, which can all make joint pain worse. It can also put extra stress on your kidneys and heart, which indirectly affects your overall health and mobility. If your ankles are swollen, your rings feel tight, or your joints feel puffy and stiff, excess sodium might be part of the problem. And finally, let's talk about alcohol. I know a glass of wine with dinner seems harmless, and in moderation it can be. But here's what happens when alcohol becomes a regular habit, especially as we age. Alcohol is processed by your liver, and when your liver is overworked, it can't effectively manage inflammation in the rest of your body. Alcohol also depletes important nutrients like vitamin B12, magnesium, and calcium, all of which are essential for joint and bone health. On top of that, alcohol dehydrates you, and when your body is dehydrated, your joints don't get the lubrication they need. That cartilage we talked about earlier, it needs water to stay cushioned and healthy. So if you're drinking alcohol several times a week and dealing with joint pain, cutting back could make a noticeable difference.
Now, I know that was a lot, and if you're feeling a little overwhelmed, that's okay. The good news is this: knowledge is power. Now that you know which foods are working against you, you can start making simple changes that will help your body heal from the inside out. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about next. In just a moment, I'm going to share the foods that fight inflammation naturally, reduce joint pain, and help you feel stronger and more mobile, no matter your age. But first, if you're finding this information helpful, please take a second to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. It helps us reach more people who need this kind of support. And don't forget to hit the bell icon so you never miss a new video. All right, let's keep going. All right, now let's talk about the good stuff, the foods that can actually help your joints instead of hurting them. These are foods that reduce inflammation, support cartilage health, lubricate your joints, and give your body the nutrients it needs to repair itself naturally. And the best part? These aren't exotic superfoods you can only find in specialty stores. These are real, everyday foods you can start eating today. Healing food number 1, fatty fish. Let's start with one of the most powerful anti-inflammatory foods on the planet, fatty fish. I'm talking about salmon, sardines, mackerel, and herring. These fish are packed with omega-3 fatty acids, specifically EPA and DHA, which are like natural medicine for your joints. Omega-3s work by blocking the production of inflammatory chemicals in your body. They literally tell your immune system to calm down and stop attacking your joints. Multiple studies have shown that people who eat fatty fish regularly experience less joint pain, less stiffness, and improved mobility, especially those with rheumatoid arthritis and osteoarthritis. How much should you eat? Try to have fatty fish at least twice a week. If you don't like fish, you can also consider a high-quality fish oil supplement, but always talk to your doctor first. If fresh fish is too expensive, canned sardines or canned salmon are excellent, affordable options. Just look for versions packed in water or olive oil, not heavy sauces. Healing food number 2, berries, especially tart cherries. Next on the list, berries. Blueberries, strawberries, blackberries, raspberries, all of these are loaded with something called anthocyanins. These are natural compounds that give berries their deep, rich color, and they're incredibly powerful at fighting inflammation. But there's one berry that stands out above the rest when it comes to joint pain: tart cherries. Tart cherries, also called Montmorency cherries, have been studied specifically for arthritis and joint pain. Research shows that drinking tart cherry juice or eating tart cherries can reduce pain and stiffness, especially in people with osteoarthritis and gout. In fact, one study found that people who drank tart cherry juice twice a day for 3 weeks had significantly less inflammation and better mobility. How to use them? Add a handful of berries to your breakfast. Sprinkle them on oatmeal, blend them into a smoothie, or just eat them fresh. You can also drink 100% tart cherry juice, not the sweetened kind, about 8 ounces in the morning and evening. Healing food number 3, leafy green vegetables. Now let's talk about leafy greens: spinach, kale, collard greens, Swiss chard, arugula. These vegetables are nutritional powerhouses. They're packed with vitamins A, C, E, and K, as well as minerals like calcium and magnesium, all of which are essential for bone and joint health. But here's the key: leafy greens are also rich in antioxidants that neutralize free radicals in your body. Free radicals are unstable molecules that cause oxidative stress, which leads to tissue damage, including damage to your cartilage. By eating more leafy greens, you're giving your body the tools it needs to fight off that damage and keep your joints healthy. How to eat more greens? Start simple. Add a handful of spinach to your scrambled eggs. Toss some kale into a soup. Make a big salad for lunch with mixed greens and drizzle it with olive oil, which is, by the way, another fantastic anti-inflammatory food. If you're not used to eating greens, start small and build up. Your joints will thank you. Healing food number 4, nuts, especially walnuts. Let's talk about nuts. Walnuts, almonds, pistachios, these are all great for joint health, but walnuts deserve special attention because they're one of the best plant-based sources of omega-3 fatty acids. Just like fatty fish, walnuts help reduce inflammation and protect your joints. They're also high in magnesium, which helps relax muscles and reduce stiffness. One study found that people who ate walnuts regularly had lower levels of inflammatory markers in their blood compared to those who didn't. How much should you eat? A small handful, about 7 to 10 walnuts a day, is all you need. You can eat them as a snack, sprinkle them on salads, or add them to oatmeal. Just be mindful of portions. Nuts are healthy, but they're also calorie-dense, so a little goes a long way. Healing food number 5, extra virgin olive oil. Here's a simple swap that can make a huge difference. Replace your cooking oils with extra virgin olive oil. Olive oil contains a powerful compound called oleocanthal, which works similarly to ibuprofen in your body. It blocks the same inflammatory enzymes that over-the-counter pain relievers target, but naturally, without the side effects. Research has shown that people who follow a Mediterranean-style diet, which is rich in olive oil, have lower rates of arthritis and joint pain. How to use it? Drizzle olive oil over salads, use it to sauté vegetables, or dip whole grain bread in it. Just make sure you're buying extra virgin olive oil, which is the least processed and has the most health benefits. And here's a tip.
Don't cook olive oil at extremely high heat. For high heat cooking, use avocado oil instead, and save olive oil for medium heat cooking or raw use. If this video helped you, please give it a thumbs up and share it with someone who needs to hear this message, maybe a friend or family member who's dealing with joint pain. And if you haven't already, subscribe to this channel and hit the bell icon so you never miss a new video. We're here every week with practical, science-backed advice to help you age with strength, health, and confidence. Thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next video.